Hi, everybody. It's Joshua Hayes here at BigWaveTrading.com coming to you with the stock market wrap-up for September 15th for use on the September 16th stock market session. First off, there is about nothing else that we can say other than this market is being very bullish. I know that a lot of us old-time pros, and by old-time I mean people that have been at least around since, I'm going to say at least 2003 maybe just 2000 actually, because we saw the 99 bull market and everything. But anyway, out of all the bull markets that we've seen, out of all the uptrends we've seen, I've never quite seen one like this. I've never quite seen one so strong without any real pullbacks. As you can see here in the New York Stock Exchange in June, oh, did I press the wrong button? I guess I did. So you can see from here in June, you can see that we ended up getting a pullback of around 8%, not even 10%. And then since then, our next deepest pullback, right here, that one was a whole 3%. And then this one was gigantic, as you can tell, another 3% decline. So we haven't had a pullback quite like what I wanted, which if what I wanted was basically like what you see here in the ST Composite Index. Do you see this pullback China had in August, and see how it's setting up in its base right now, how it wants to form the right side of this cup-like pattern in its index? This little August to September pullback, if the ST Composite breaks out, is going to create a lot of beautiful stocks on the Chinese stock market. Sadly, Telechart doesn't have them, so we can't use them to find beautiful stock patterns, but like the old Rhino out there, like that's what I'm trying to find, you know, Max Green Bop on the previous uptrend, Max Green Bop during the base, and then Max Green Bop on the breakout. Max Green Bop is never really extremely important, remember everybody, it's just a confirmation of price and volume. We've got tons of breakouts out there on a lot of high volume, and they're all over the place. So what we do to limit ourselves from having to look at like 1,000 charts a night, which is what I used to do back in my teens, from like 16 to 19, I think I used to look at 1,000 to 2,000 minimum per night obsessively. Now I can get this down to about 300, 400, 500 at most, and I don't have to go over that. So that's why I like to have a lot of the Green Bop. The Green Bop, historically, going back to 1996 when I started to do this, I started to study it back to 1995 with iOmega, was the first one I remember with a ton of Max Green Bop before the uptrend on the bounces, quote, pocket buy points, and on the breakouts, and on the subsequent other breakouts from the other consolidation patterns as we moved up. So as I saw that, I realized, hey, this is important. So that's why I use it, because we did have a new subscriber ask me about it, and it was a great question, by the way, Michael. Excellent question. And that was very good, because I think a lot of people probably did not know exactly why I focus so much on this stupid technical indicator whenever I tell everybody that technical indicators aren't that important. They're not. But in conjunction with the price volume breakout, in conjunction with volume surges on these breakouts and or bounces, the confirmation to where I don't have 200 longs or 150 longs, I can instead keep it to under 100 whenever I don't have any perfect charts. Like I said, what would be a perfect chart? This Rhino base right here basically was perfect on 7/16 minus one thing. Count the days in the base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days is not really a base, or 11 days, whatever you want to call it. Minimum for a good base for me is 15 days, but preferably at least 5 weeks, and that is, that is 25 days. So 25 days would be the perfect. This base right here Rhino's building, if this base that Rhino has right here, if you could change those big tall red bars into big tall green bars, and all the below average volume days were red days, and we had Max Green Bop during this base, I would so help my goodness gracious, I would be following this stock so closely and waiting to get it on the next bounce breakout, right, probably around 1350 or whatever. So that's why it's very important for us, and that's why I look at it. And I tell you what, I still don't have perfect charts, but at the time I say that, I mean, look at stocks like some of our long-term longs. Sorry, I brought up the wrong thing there. Look at one of our long-term longs like Fire. Fire has been a long since here. The buy date that I gave it was back here. This is what it looked like. This is whenever I'm going long Fire. Next day it gapped up. Still, you get your fill around 870, and you can see what it's done since then, since 870. It's obviously up a lot more. Let's say if it would have opened at the close of the day on the date that I wanted to go long, how much would we be up then? 163%. At the same time, look at this stock, Dan. This is when we went long back here, and look at the gain already. 273% in 2 months and 5 days. On margin, that's 546%. Or, I'm right, 546%, or actually it's 548% with the 9.99. So it's very nice to see stocks moving like this, but that one isn't as pretty as, I'm going to try to use a pretty stock that's up that I don't want to give too much out. Let me go and look at all these. Oh, okay. Yeah, duh. Oh, no, because we wanted to add to that one. So let me just show you this one, Camp, for instance. Here's when Camp was along, and look at how much it's up already, 150% in 2 months. So we're starting to get some big movers, and when you get movers like this, when you get chart patterns like this, it's hard to fight them off. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me go look on my other computer really quick to see if I want to go ahead and show it to everybody, and I'm not going to, but we recently went long a stock that's been very beautiful. Actually, there's been quite a bit that's been very beautiful, and they're all working out great. And as long as this keeps happening, I'm just going to keep on being very happy and just going to keep on getting along. And I want to show you, like, MDAS even. Look at this one. Here was like our perfect quote-quote buy day here. If it would only have had max green bop, it would have been a large, huge buy. It's up only 26% now, but look at how beautiful the chart pattern is. Bottom line, we have these beautiful chart patterns everywhere. They may not be perfect, and we may just only now be getting can slim stocks to come to the fore leading. It's only happened in the past 8 days have can slim stocks started to actually move higher with the relative strength line. I'm going to see how far I'm along in this video because it's, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Here's IBD 85 daily. Look at the relative strength line the past 8 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, excuse me, the past 9 days. Look at the slope of this relative strength line. Now look at the entire previous uptrend we've had since the February lows in this index. Look at the relative strength line down the whole way. But now finally it's moving up with price. Awesome. Look at how much it's up today. Up over 1.5%. That's awesome. Here's the IBD 100. The IBD 100 was up slightly under 1%. But if my memory serves me right, which I don't see why I didn't, the NASDAQ, I think, was only up like 0.53 or 0.52% today. And then the New York Stock Exchange was up like 0.53, 0.54. I can't remember which one was which, but, you know, whatever. So anyway, look at the volume on the IBD 100 recently. Finally starting to come in. Look at the relative strength line starting to tick up. And let me go show you the IBD 85 volume today. Oh, yeah, finally. About time we get some leadership in these stocks. It's very, 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 very good to see. Now, with speculative stocks moving, like, you know, Dan, Camp. Look at Camp's a $2 stock now after a 150% gain. Dan's a $6 stock now after a 250% gain. So, it's kind of also interesting to see gold moving higher. Gold, as you can see here, closed at 10.06. A lot of people thought, oh, we're going to have a big reversal up here. Never fight an uptrend, especially when you have gold stocks look like this. Look at GOLD. That's clearly making a base there. Look at NEM. Clearly making a base. HL. Oh, look at how strong that is. HDW. Or HWD. Look at how strong that is. Look at all that accumulation. IAG. Look at that accumulation. Look at that uptrend. You going to fight this? Not me. Look at GLD. Look at the recent volume. Look at SLV. Look at the recent volume. Let's look at platinum. Very, very bullish. Let's look at silver. Very, very, very bullish. Let's look at gold. Very, very bullish. Let's look at oil. Pretty darn bullish. Let's look at the market. Pretty darn bullish. Bring it up. And then let's take a look at leading stocks. Pretty darn bullish on the short term. Tell you what. I can't remember at any point in my life when I had stocks like SCLN up 112%, Camp up 148%, Dan up 257%, PXLW up 140%, CAR up 109%, FIRE up 121%, IST up 145%. Where I wanted to get that 160% one, but that was already down. ATSG is 160% on Friday. So I think it was down on Monday. So I've never seen stocks move like this, while at the same time having stocks like CDE, having stocks like MMG or MGM. I didn't even know that's different. Look at that. It's a casino. MMG, I think that was the one. Dang. Wish I could remember all the ones I wanted to. AXU, XRA. Look at XRA. You going to fight that uptrend? How much is it up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. 42% in 9 days. Not going to fight this trend. I've never seen gold, speculative stocks, and leading stocks all lead at the exact same time. Very, very interesting. Very, very bullish. I happen to think it's major, major inflationary. I'm going to bring up the SOX index. I want to see if semis are moving. Yes, they're moving. And I guess that's all. I want to see the S&P 600 still leading. Now let's see if the mid-cap 400 is still leading as the leader. Up 0.83%. Look at the relative strength line. Clearly, that's your leader still, even though the IBD index is starting to really turn it on. Okay, I'm 10 minutes in. This is pretty long. I wanted to keep it only at 6, but there's a lot to go over because I wanted to explain a few things since I actually got a great question on the forums today. Anyway, everybody, I hope you're having a great time during this bullish uptrend. I'm sorry there's no perfect charts, but guess what?